Welcome to another episode of Odd Pairing. I am your host, Natasha, and I have my lovely co-host here, Paige. Paige. Look at me. Look at me finally getting the intro down on the last episode. On the very last one.
That was fantastic.
So guys, as you can see, we are ready for the holidays.
I brought out my party jacket.
And she brought out the party jacket, hoping to take her to a party soon so we can actually use the party jacket. That's the part that I would really love. So we just did a cheers, but let's do another one to us completing
a full season.
A full season. Yes, look at us.
Yes,
look at
congratulations.
us. Yeah.
Yay.
We did it.
We did it.
We actually did it.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was. It was actually, I think, because I've done this by myself, it was a lot harder to do it with like you and then a whole crew too, like a whole team doing it.
Yeah, group effort. There's a lot of moving parts.
Usually time I just be like, I got it. And it's over and it's done. But this time I really couldn't. I had to it actually taught me it actually taught me how to like actually reach out for help. To actually be like, yo, could you do whatever? Yeah. Because I'm bossy, but I'm usually not that bossy enough to be like, I'm usually
debatable.
Just kidding. Well, just kidding. Depends on who you ask out there. It's mostly, I would like to call myself independent bossy, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like I'm the type that will get mad if you don't do it fast enough. So then I'm gonna do it myself. That's my toxic trait, guys. But yeah, so getting things done. Yeah, just really, and getting things done efficiently and quickly. So it's off my plate because my brain runs through a list. So if I feel like the list is unchecked, then guess what? I'm like, hey.
Yeah, my list is getting longer.
Why is this not checked off? So that part of it is always, pretty hard. But I'm really glad that I got to do this with you. Yeah. You're the best co-host that a girl could ever ask for, I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I've never done a podcast before. So it's been a great learning experience and just a creative outlet that I didn't have before. And so I'm so appreciative of that opportunity and being able to do it with someone like you.
Yeah. Yeah. We really took Odd Pairing to a whole nother level this.
Yes. We redefined Odd Pairing.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah. For sure. We really did. Because it wasn't really an odd way. I think we blended quite well throughout the season and being able to just bounce off each other. Because as I was looking back at old episodes, I was seeing how we were able to just bounce off each other even with the guest. So that part of it, I really appreciated because then I'm not talking to someone for a whole hour. Yeah. I'm literally letting someone else kind of fill into it. I can just take a back seat and just be like, oh, okay.
Well, just like the dynamic energy and, like we come from obviously different perspectives. And so it's like we were able to bounce that off or ask questions and, I don't know, keep the conversations going and make them more interesting because they weren't all my questions or your questions.
Right,
so I really liked that.
Yeah. I think that was probably what was good. So let's talk about, we're going to do just like we do every show. Let's talk about a little bit about what we're drinking on. So our producer brought us the rosé of Pinot Noir by, did he say Pally? He said Pally.
Pally Wine Company out of Santa Barbara. And they have a tasting room in Little Italy.
Yeah, down in downtown San Diego.
So it's quite delicious.
Yeah,
it's still warm here in San Diego, so it's still okay to be drinking rosé.
I mean, we have it warm year round, so that's the great part.
Rosé is season, like there is no season to rosé in San Diego.
No, not at all. Whether it's Christmas, New Year's, or Thanksgiving, we're gonna have rosé all year. So I wanted to kind of just go through like a recap of our entire season. Like, let's go through like some highlights, some favorite episodes, some parts that we learned throughout this like entire experience actually, and not just what people can see like on camera or hear through the mic, but actually like our behind the scenes like lessons too that we kind of learned.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So What was one of your favorite episodes? Because I have like 3. But what was one of yours?
One of my favorite one was Grafted Cellars with Ryan and Whitney. I really liked the like back and forth of the beer versus wine and the husband and wife and the, just their personality dynamic and all of that. I found it really interesting and entertaining.
Yeah. And Whitney had a lot of energy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that about her as well. And you could tell that they kind of balance each other out.
Yeah.
Because Ryan was like really laid back. I mean, he also wasn't feeling well that day, but at the same time, like you could tell that he like bounces off of his wife, and I'm really happy for them to. And we have a bottle here, kind of just bringing their memory back on them coming to San Diego and taking over that particular brand again. So
that's their award winner.
Yeah,
Chenin Blanc. So we tasted that, and that was very delicious. So, I actually stopped by their tasting or their winery and grabbed that after spending time with them because it was so good. Yeah. And they are a lovely couple to kind of just chit chat with as well. Yeah. They have a great experience and vibe going over there, which is I think with a lot of the people that we kind of talk to this season, when you kind of go and you either go to their tasting room or like go to their establishments, they all kind of had like a vibe going. Yeah. That was like really nice. So, and then they kind of brought that vibe in the studio. Yeah. With them as well. So that part of it too, I really enjoyed because I was like, oh, the vibe actually matches you. Right. Like energy that you gave. That's good. That's
a good thing. Yeah. So I really liked that from them. I think one of my favorite episodes was I'm gonna say Jill from Pizza Port. Jill is a hoot. Okay.
Shout out to Jill.
Jill is my best friend now because I loved her knowledge of like beer. And then I went to go because I had never been to Pizza Port before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before the episode. Okay. So I went, and now that's me and Armando's like favorite spot. Yeah.
Which one do you go to?
We go to the one right there in Carlsbad.
Bressie Ranch or the one in the Village?
The one in the Village. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know they had 2, so that's why I was like, yeah. But yeah when you said the Village, that's the one that we go to right out the 5. But I really loved their pizza and the array of beers. Yeah. I was very sad. What? Because the mango one, the tahini one that I liked.
Yeah, but that's not theirs. That's not Pizza Port's beer.
I know, but it was one of the ones that they had.
That we brought in for you, yeah.
They didn't
you
have
to go to Booze Brothers for that one, which is still in Vista. So
yeah.
It's close by.
Yeah.
But I liked that episode a lot, just like bringing in different types of styles and trying to leading you through a beer tasting for a non-beer drinker.
Oh, yeah.
Jill and I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. And then also that's what I did when I went to Pizza Port is that I had a beer while I was there because I was like, now I'm
success.
Exactly. I'm like, now I'm a beer drinker. Of course I'm being here drinking beer now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like one of my favorite episodes. What about another one? You have another one?
I also really liked the like doing the mashup show that we did with I Like Beer.
Yeah.
That was really like, again, I felt like that was really unique of us, like trying to, explore just a different way to engage with the audience and like talk about things that we don't usually talk about on our show and vice versa. And that was really fun because there wasn't a ton of planning behind the episode because we were just trying to showcase what both of us do. And so that, I think I had a lot of fun doing that. Yeah.
And I mean, I love the Jeff's voice. It's
both
2 Jeffs.
Jeff and Jeff. I loved how they were like, they are so like the opposite of us.
That, for sure.
Same name. They've known each other their entire lives. Like they've, just their exact opposite of Odd Parents.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with them, it makes sense if you have someone that you've been friends with for that long and you can talk about, the very common things. Because, I mean, even the way they bounced off of each other was you could tell that they knew each other. They was married pretty much.
Yeah.
So I really
neighbors and they just didn't tell us.
Right. Right. Yeah, I really love their episode as well. Anything else from the episode that you liked?
From their episode or
from their episode?
Yeah, I like their segments.
That's what I was just about to say too. Yeah. I love that they had like those different type of segments. Like they had trivia.
And then the pour one out.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just a different, and it doesn't even have, like, their topics aren't always beer related. So the things that they talk about is like, it's neat how they have the segments are really cool.
Yeah, I like that. My next episode that I really loved was Cassandra's.
Yes.
With Sip and Fresh Glass. Love her episode. Love her energy.
That was so fun.
Unapologetically Black. Love everything about it. I know that she has like, you know, she has a wine and beer room that she has, and then she has the show, which is Fresh Glass.
Yeah. Huge.
I watched the season finale a couple of weeks ago, and very good, well done show. And then it was also great just seeing someone that you actually know.
Yeah.
Like seeing them, like, you know, on the big stage, quote unquote. So that was pretty cool too. And she also presented some people we might want to try to get in touch with.
Talk to.
Yeah. In the very near future. I don't want to spoil what the episodes were about, because I want you guys to actually like watch those, find them and watch them on KPBS or PBS if you're in another state.
You stream it. You can, if you have cable. I don't know who has cable anymore.
I don't know who has cable anymore either. Maybe, maybe if you like over 70, maybe you got the cable still, but I don't really
stream it. Find it on your streaming devices.
Right, yeah. Please do. And it's a really good show with BIPOC wines and beers, BIPOC made wines and beers, and it's very, very good show. Very good show. I really liked it.
She's doing very important work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's really great to have that coming out of San Diego.
Yeah.
And because I don't really feel like San Diego always feels that diverse all the time. And so for it to be focused out of, you know, North San Diego County, I think it's really great that, you know, I hope it really lights or ignites other areas into being inspired to do something similar.
Same.
Like new business owners or, you know, people, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. So let's kind of go a little bit into what we learned on the show.
Okay.
What was great? What didn't go so well? Just kind of like talk about that. I could start it off.
Yeah.
To kind of give you an idea.
Yeah. Give me some inspiration.
To kind of give you an idea of like what it was. So I'm gonna make it into a compliment sandwich like I do with my patients. Okay. I'm gonna say, oh, it was great, and then we could have done, and then it was great. So the parts that I like how we jumped into it, loved how we jumped into the show, and because it was kind of some hesitation at first in terms of like when we wanted to start.
Yes.
We was like, oh, we'll start this time, that time, this time, that time. We kept moving like the dates. But once we jumped into it, it didn't feel as awkward as we kind of anticipated that it would feel. And I think a lot of that was just us going, we have a common goal here. Yeah. Let's try to make that happen. Another thing that I really loved, that I learned and loved, is that working with the team, just kind of going back to what I said earlier, working with the team really takes off the pressure of having, because I could have done all of this. It probably took me about 4 hours to set up. It probably would have taken me like 4 hours to set up, 13 hours in total to edit and just like do everything. Yeah. So I think that part of it, like learning that piece of it and knowing that makes it so much easier. I think for the talent, because that's what we are, guys. We're the talent, okay? So when it makes it so much easier for us, then it gives us more of that creative freedom to know what we kind of want to do, and then asking people to try to execute that for us. So that part of it, I know that taking that and learning that piece was good. So I think a thing that I learned that was a hard pill for me to swallow was also allowing someone else to have creative, because I feel like sometimes that I can be like super creative. Mm-hmm. And then you have to also let someone else kind of come in too and be like, listen, I have
this idea.
I have this idea too as well. Because I'm, like I said, most projects for me, I've always started them by myself. Mm-hmm. So it's always been like, just do this. And then I just hire people and they go, yeah.
And they execute
I got you.
it.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, you know. And so having that, I think having a co-host and also being able to kind of just bounce those ideas off of you also made me realize that I probably can have a business partner. That I can like graduate this thing into like a whole business partner. You know, I was like, maybe this actually could work. Mm-hmm. And you made that easy for me. So that part of it, I know that was something that was a little bit hard for me to kind of do, and then being able to kind of come out of that as well and doing that. Because I think what people don't understand about like podcasting is there's a lot of moving pieces in terms of the content. Mm-hmm. Cause see, what people they get to swallow and eat the content that we put in, but it was a lot of our brain power.
Yeah.
That went into this.
Yeah, there's a lot of cooking that went into making the final product.
And then they get to really eat and fucking pick their teeth, and then they're finished. And I'm like, wait a minute, you know.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, and I think that's what's making it so exciting for when we do season 2. Mm-hmm. Is because I know now what the moving parts are, how they're supposed to move. Because at first it was very, you know, it was like, oh, we're just kind of just jumping in this and doing it, you know. And I think that was one thing I know that I learned is like kind of being able to literally kind of just slow down and also let someone else kind of also have that creative input as well. Yeah. Because that was something I definitely... all my life, literally all my life has always been even when I did projects in school,
you're just like, I got this. I'll put your name on the paper.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I sign your name, and then then they get up there at the science fair. They're like,
Natasha,
what's my
what do I say?
Don't worry about it. Just take your A. Shut up. Just take your A, and let me do the rest of this. So like that piece, I really appreciate that. And then having you to also have like some good creative ideas. Cause I don't think I could have did this with anyone who didn't have any great creative ideas. Mm-hmm.
That would have been hard.
Yeah, I know. So I'm so grateful that your mom and dad got together and had you and decided
they're going to be so happy to hear that.
That you had these creative ideas. So then we was, able to kind of do this. And I wanted to say from when I did Sun Tide episode and I was doing it by myself, I remember I was telling them that before the episode started, I said, Paige is not here to reel me in.
Yeah.
So it could get loose.
Ooh.
It could get loose. But, I think my therapist kicked in.
Yeah.
And then I just was like, I got this.
Yeah.
And then just kind of kept, everybody on track. Because they were great as well. They were a very good episode. Yeah.
I'm so bummed I missed that.
Yeah. We missed you.
Damn kids getting sick.
Right. Yeah. It kind of
petri dishes.
It just checked me off. I was like, yep, kids know. That's a check on that.
Good. I'm good.
Right. If I just get the itch, I just come over your house and grab your kids.
That is totally fine. They love it.
Right. So what were some things that you learned?
So going back to like the creative aspect, like I usually am not that creative. So that was part of why this project and working with you is like so I was like so interested in it and like pursuing it and making it come alive is because like I want to challenge myself in something that like I normally would have never sought out on my own or just creatively in general. Like I'm just like, I like structure. I like routine. I like organization. And so like there are elements of that, but that's not really our role in the podcast. It's like being creative. It's talking to people that we don't know and learning and engaging and being, going back to being creative. So I really liked feeling that I had your support and our team support to like do that. And then, just do something that I normally wouldn't do.
Right. And when we have like the creative freedom, there is no wrong ideas. Mm-hmm. Like, I really appreciated that space is being held in terms of like no wrong ideas. It's like, that probably won't work, but we can make it work some other way.
We can try it.
Right.
And we can learn from that.
Right.
And like, oh.
Yeah, which we did. Like, yeah, throughout the season.
Yeah.
We got to have that where we was like, let's just try this. Let's just see what happens and see what kind of feedback we get. And then kind of just go from there.
Yeah. And like through that process, there were highs of like, oh, that was super fun. And like, this is, I'm learning, and learning can be really hard and challenging.
It can.
And so, yeah, I think those were like kind of my highs and my lows were like all part of that process and something that was completely brand new to me. And you being like so supportive, but like me being able to lean on you and like figure all that stuff out together. Yeah. It was like, kind of what I learned. So.
And then juggling life.
Oh,
we had to juggle life, guys.
Yeah. Like, like
the hardcore juggle.
And 2 kids. Well, I have 2 kids. And,
I'm going to school.
Like all that sort of
stuff.
All
this stuff. And being able to pull this off. I think that's why I'm like so proud of us for being able to do that, because it was a lot of stuff going on in this like little short time.
Yeah.
But we did it.
You did it.
We did it. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
I mean, for sure. Let me drink the rest of it.
Are you struggling to retain or attract frontline talent? Have you created a great work environment, but job seekers simply don't know about it? If so, Frontline Careers is here to help. Our assessment helps you improve your work environment and gives you the opportunity to earn our Frontline Friendly certification, which signifies you as a top employer. Now, through December 31st, all Vista Chamber members get 50% off of their assessment. And if you mention this ad, you'll get an additional 5% off. The time is now. Email us at info@frontlinecareers.com or visit us at frontlinecareers.com.
Hi, I'm Rachel Belt, President and CEO of the Vista Chamber of Commerce. Over the last 20 years, I've had the privilege of living and working in Vista, and I've met some amazing people with amazing stories. And I'm thrilled to bring them to you as part of Velocity, the Vista Chamber podcast, where I interview the movers, shakers, and change makers impacting the Vista community and beyond. I hope you'll join me as we journey together to hear the stories of the people doing amazing things for our town. Velocity, the Vista Chamber podcast. Find us anywhere you get your podcasts.
San Diego beer lovers, come join us on the Pioneer Beer Trail, a free, narrated tour of 4 of Vista's iconic craft brewers, all from the convenience of your phone. Simply download the free show at vistamadetours.com or find Vista Made Tours on your favorite podcast provider, like Spotify or iTunes. Then fire up the show and you'll hear fascinating backstories, beer favorites, and food recommendations from the brewers themselves as you travel from spot to spot. It's free, fun, and the easiest way to learn about some of Vista's originals, including Booze Brothers, Belching Beaver 980, Aztec, and 5 Seats. So come travel the Pioneer Beer Trail at vistamadetours.com or from wherever you find your podcasts.
That was good. You did drink the rest of that.
I did.
Well done.
I did. I thought about all the hard work that I did throughout the season.
Yeah.
And that's what made me, go ahead and treat that rosé like a shot. Talking about shots. Laura Johnson from You and Yours.
Oh, yeah. You loved that gin.
Oh,
my God.
If you guys who live in Southern California, if you have not been to visit her spot in Little Italy downtown and to also taste that gin.
Yes.
That is the best gin. You know what? I'm putting it out there. On the market.
Whoa.
That Sunday gin is so crisp. And I've had a lot of gins.
Citrus notes of it.
I mean.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a gin drinker, so I was like.
Perfection.
Yeah.
She did that. She really did.
Yes.
Because I'm a gin drinker. And I've had some gins. Some of them, they definitely shouldn't have been made. But I'm not gonna call those people out because I might need y'all one day. But I definitely shouldn't have made them. But her gin, I think that was, when I think of like a spirit, when we talk about like the spirit realm of like in the drinking world, that it made no sense of how good that was. Like the citrus, I would have never thought to have like the citrus note in the actual
gin,
and to be able to drink it by itself.
Sipping.
Yeah. Because I've always had gin with something else.
Yeah. Well, I liked like that she gave us like how to taste a spirit, because I've never, I don't know, I've done the beer tastings, done wine tastings, or you're swirling, like all this stuff. I've never even thought about really doing that with a spirit. And so like, to have that, for her to like walk us through that, I'm like, oh, it's nice, you know, because like also what you're looking for, and that was really cool. Yeah, I liked that. Yeah,
and to also get it to our audience too, so that they also can learn when they're out, you know, tasting the different ones. But yeah, she did that. She did. We need to get more spirits on here.
Yes, calling all spirits.
Calling all spirits. We need some more spirits on this show. So, but yeah, she was good. And when I think about it was another one that I loved. Oh, June Shine. So the reason why I love June Shine so much is I loved June Shine's whole like marketing thing.
Their vibe.
Their whole thing.
They have it down.
They really do. And even when I went in the store, because I've seen June Shine before, but it made me have another perspective of looking at it when I went into the store after we recorded that episode. So now when I started going in there, I was like actually reading the back, like, oh, okay.
There are only 5 ingredients in here.
Yeah. And so like looking at the back of those and seeing, you know, all the things that they had, I was like, okay, now this makes it more interesting when I'm looking at their drinks and their cans. And then their cans are so
colorful,
fun.
Yeah.
Like the
and they bring in artists and doing the cans and the influencers on their collaborations.
Yeah.
It's just very, I mean, I liked talking with him about just like the authenticity of the brand, and it really comes through in the product, and they work really hard to do that. And you can tell.
Yeah. And look out in the future, guys, because we're going to collab with June Shine and get us an odd pairing one. Yeah. Get us an odd pairing one. And get it done as well. But yeah, I really love those. And then Marera.
Oh, yeah. You did it.
You see it? You saw that? Because I'm with a Mexican, you know.
You got it.
So their wine and having their wine is that Chardonnay.
Oh yeah.
They nailed the Chardonnay. Listen, when I say I hated Chards, hated that
with a strong word.
I mean, with a passion. Okay? Because like I said, that was my intro to wines. Yeah. And then when I realized there was other better ones, I was like, well, why am I drinking this trash?
Get this stuff out of here.
Yeah, why am I drinking this? Yeah. And to know that they took the time to make that a better one because of its reputation, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Like the butteriness of it just, and he did a very good job explaining like how they kind of went into it, all the different types of wines. Yeah. In
all
terms
the
of like
varietals, and even getting into the agriculture part of it.
That part was very interesting
salt
to me.
And the, I don't know, all sorts of, just the chemical makeup of the ground and how that affects the grapes, and it's super complex.
Which I would have never thought of. Yeah. I would have just been like, just grow that shit and not pick it, and we'll turn it into a wine.
Yeah, just ferment it, and it'll be fine.
Right. How hard can it be?
Just make some alcohol. God.
And so to know that it's really thought out that way now makes me appreciate more. I was already appreciative of wines anyway, but now I appreciate them even
complexity
more. Yeah. To know that. So when I hear now they come from these certain areas and like that they're and knowing what the weather is in those areas to
well,
be able
not
to
only just the areas, but also like the years, because if there was a drought, then it would affect. So like then you get into like that's a whole nother layer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a whole new appreciation of a sommelier.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was I
We
really
get one of those
really
on.
Sure, we really do.
Yeah,
we really do. Yeah, so we will. So since this is the holidays, guys, we're gonna kind of switch gears a little bit and let's talk about holiday everything when it comes to drinking. We have some holiday drinking stories and just kind of talk about what's coming up, like what we're doing for the holidays as well. So Thanksgiving has already passed, and for Thanksgiving, I usually always try to do drinks that are like a brandy type, because for some reason brandy and Thanksgiving just makes sense to me. So I usually would do something kind of brandy-ish for me. So it's this one drink, it's like a brandy apple, and they put like little apple slices and stuff in there.
Where's the apple part?
Oh, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It just brings fall cozy. We don't even get that cozy here in San Diego, but it just makes you want to get cozy.
We don't have to get cozy, but we make it happen because we want it so bad.
Oh, for sure. So when I think about, for Thanksgiving, that's like my favorite type of like spirit to have during Thanksgiving. I don't do no wines, I don't do no beers, no nothing. It's just more of like, I love brandy during that time. Now, any other time of year.
I was like,
don't ask me. Don't ask me. Fall only. Don't ask me to drink it for New Year's. Don't ask me to drink it for Easter.
I drink it 1 week out of the year. And it is reserved for Thanksgiving week.
Don't give a shit about it any other time of the year. But Thanksgiving, I feel, have you had brandy before? Do you drink brandy?
I think I had it once.
Once, okay. So when you get into more of like the complex brandies and they have like, some of them have like some flavors to them, right? Okay. And the apple is always my favorite, obviously. But for that one, I think when I come into like the Thanksgiving time, for some reason, it just tastes so right with like, if you have like sweet potatoes, if you have like a pecan pie, like something that has like the little warmth to it, the brandy goes perfect with it. It just doesn't make any nothing else makes sense no matter what you try. Perfect pairing to me. I don't know if it's correct, but we'll have somebody on maybe next time that'll tell us, they probably can open my eye up a little bit more with brandy, but I know that is probably my favorite. And now that Christmas is coming up in a couple of weeks, I love like cranberry like drinks.
Yeah. Would you make like mixed drinks?
Yeah. Like anything that has to do with like some cranberry in there. I'm not huge on peppermint.
No.
And I know everybody drinks peppermint.
I don't like peppermint.
I don't know.
It makes my eyes water.
I feel like people
my nose
who drink,
feels funny. No.
I feel like people who drink or eat peppermint and chocolate both together, psychopaths.
Except for in Thin Mints.
Immediate. Huh?
Thin Mints. Like Girl Scout Thin Mints.
Psychopath.
Exception.
And every time I've seen a little
like this.
Every time I've seen a little girl,
you look the other way.
Give Thin Mints, her eyes is like, do you want some Thin Mints? No,
and
ma'am.
I say, yes, absolutely.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And lower your eyes before I have to football punch you across this parking lot. No, ma'am. Do not put the thin eye. I don't know why. It does not sit right with my taste buds.
Like it.
Hate it.
Do you like mint chocolate chip ice cream?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I think the only exception I have is a Thin Mint.
Well, why is that different?
I don't know. Maybe because I was a Girl Scout.
I was too. I still hated it.
I was the one who was trying to sell you Girl Scout cookies at the grocery store. Please buy this so that I can, I don't know, get a badge.
Really? That must be, because I remember We would do them at school because that's where it really popped off.
I don't know if we're allowed to do it.
So we was allowed to have them like in the front of the school, and then we'd just be selling them, or you bring them in, and then you got those coaches or those teachers or whatever that's like, I want some Girl Scout cookies.
No, I saved my order form every year, and then I would call the person who because I didn't do door to door, so I would call and be like, you ordered this last year. This was your order. Would you like the same or would you like something different? And I would spend hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I would package them all up. I made a little tag. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, wow.
I was really into it.
Oh, you was really into it.
So I like Ben Mensa.
Nope. We had two. I had two forms. I gave one form.
They also were like $2.
Yeah, they were
back in the day. Now they're like $6 a box.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Yeah, no one's buying the big boxes.
Go ahead, go. Girl Scouts are great.
Right. Yeah. We would have the forms. Like for me, I would just give one form to my dad and then one form to my mom, and they would take them.
Yeah,
to work.
Cheating.
And
I asked my dad to do it, and he said, "That's not my job to sell your cookies." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to your parents for putting you on the map.
The reason you're supposed to be doing this is you are supposed to be selling it. What good are you what are you learning if I'm doing it for you?
My parents was like, I'll take that to work. Don't worry about it.
Well, all these other kids keep winning in the competition because their parents take their forms to work, and I'm actually doing all the work and I'm not winning. And they were like, well, then work harder.
See, I didn't win that one year and I never sold again. So that lets you know. That I let you know.
Gosh.
But going back to my drinks, and then for New Year's, bubblies, always the bubblies.
Yeah,
it doesn't even have to be countdown for me to have champagne. I'm starting from the time I get to your house all the way to the end for it. But yeah, which is going to lead later into my drinking story. But let me hear some of your favorite holiday drinks.
So Thanksgiving time, we do a lot of apple cider. Ooh. So my mom makes apple cider and fresh oranges and lemons and cloves and all that stuff. And then we usually will put a dash of, I'm more of a bourbon drinker. So again, a little dash of that in there. And that's nice.
Another one, yeah.
Nice and warm in your tummy when it's not warm outside. So that's great.
Right. Sweating, especially during Thanksgiving. Sweating out here.
Yeah. So we
Christmas?
do that. Christmas is kind of the same. I was thinking about this because there was a restaurant down in Mission Hills in San Diego called Brooklyn Girl. It's not there anymore, but my husband and I, before we got married, we lived in the neighborhood, and we would walk there, and it would be like, it was when we had, it'd be like kind of a winter night, so it was like kind of bundled. Yeah. But we'd sit at the bar. Yeah, we sit at the bar, and it's like, oh, it's so chilly outside. And they had a bourbon mixed drink, and it was called Chimea River, and I miss it.
Adorable.
Because, well, one, I like Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
And two, just that warmth of like a chai. And bourbon, and it's just like, oh, it was so nice. And the place was like kind of dark, and it was cold outside. And like, oh, this is winter.
Yeah, I love that.
I miss that. So maybe I'll try to recreate it a little bit.
You should.
This.
And let me know when y'all do it. I'm available.
Okay.
Me and Armando will be
Let's
over.
do it. And then bubbles for New Year's. Which my story involves bubbles too. So
yeah. We always have to have Moet. It's like a must. I don't care what anybody else is drinking, what you bring. We'll say that for maybe the next day for mimosas and for, the actual January the 1st.
Yeah.
We're going to get up and cook breakfast. But yeah, Moet was probably, it's the must have, like for the popping of the bubbly.
The bubbles.
Yeah, we have to have that. So let's go into, because we know that our show is about like community and drinking and like all of this. And I wanted us to actually kind of talk about a little bit with holiday memories.
Yes.
So what are some, not the drinking story just yet.
Yes.
But just kind of just some holiday memories that you have that, maybe a little drinking might go in there, but
yes. Yeah. So I was thinking about this a lot, and whenever I think about, especially with like Christmas coming up, growing up, a very close family friends of ours, they're the Dell family.
Shout out to the Dells.
Go to the Dells. The mother, she's from Ireland. Well, the family's from Ireland, and they came over here, and there's 5 kids, and my family has 4 kids. So we would go to church, or we go to mass together on Christmas Eve. So they would come over to our house. So it was like a ton of kids, and my mom made
I'm tracking clam right now.
Clam chowder, when we would all have soup together, and then we would all like make our way over to the church, and it was just kind of a fun like tradition that we would do every year, and that was just like a really nice thing that I think both of our families look forward to. Yeah. And as we were like getting older, we noticed that the parents started sending us, as we were able to drive, sending us to mass to the church early to save seats, and they would get there like 5 minutes before mass started, and we were like turning away. One time I turned away this woman who had like a walker, and I was like, sorry, my mom's on her way, and they're like, it's literally like 2 minutes. I'm like, sorry, my mom's almost here. And I was like, you guys can never do that to us again. So I was like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you guys are like hanging out at the house longer, drinking a little bit, and then coming to church and having your kids like save pews of seats. Because my grandparents, my parents, their parents, if they had family in town, then all of us. So it was like multiple rows, and we were like,
you have to do that to your kids now. You have to do that. You have to keep the tradition going. You have to let your kids, when they start drunk.
You would look back, and like Grandpa, my dad, and Michael Dell, like they would just be sitting there, like in the middle of mass, like sleeping.
Yeah,
like what the?
Because they had some bourbon on the way in.
So
they had bourbon on the way in.
So we still, even though like all of us have like moved out of the house and gotten married and have kids, like our families still try to get together on Christmas Eve every year.
Oh,
like,
that's good.
Whoever is around, you know. So
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good memory.
But I love that you guys turned away somebody in a walker.
I was like, that's the sign that this needs to stop. Like, you guys turn away a woman with a rocker.
This lady spent all her energy getting to that seat.
Should have got there earlier.
For you guys to turn her away. Oh,
she got front row parking.
Crying.
I was like, we're not doing this again. We're all going together.
Right. Oh, that's too good. So, yeah. That's the kind of parent I want to be. Go to church first.
This is out of control.
We'll see you when we get there, and we all come in smelling like tequila. Yeah. So for the holidays, my traditions, they always changed. So growing up, my stepmom had a huge family. So it's 11 of them.
Oh, wow.
And then everybody had 2 or more kids apiece.
Someone else, yeah.
So at least maybe like 8 of them would always show up. And then, they bring all their kids with them. And because my stepmom's the baby, so then that means that when their kids came, some of them had their own kids.
Oh my gosh.
Which means grandkids came.
Yeah.
So for my grandmother, that was her great grandkids at this point.
Oh my gosh.
So I remember they would always go out for Christmas Eve.
Like out on town?
They would go out. So my stepmom's an Eastern Star. I don't know if you know what that is or if anybody else know what that is, but it's like this, it's kind of like a religious type of sorority thing or whatever.
Oh,
okay. So she's an Eastern Star, and they will always have this like big ball Christmas Eve. And so her brothers will come in, her sisters will come in, and they will go out to this ball. And they will all dress up. I mean, dressed to the nines, sparkling, everything. Like everybody's like super dressed up.
Oh, wow.
They go out and leave all the kids at the house.
And the great grandkids.
And the great grandkids. By ourselves.
What did you do?
We played games.
Yeah.
So I think when we really started noticing that they were like really gone and like taking advantage of the situation, we were, because all of us are like around the same age, even though they're steps, most of them tried to have their kids around the same age. So like most of us was either we were the same age or 10 years older.
Okay.
So for us that were the same age as me, we was dating at this time. So AOL was a huge deal in this
AIM,
era.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
AIM. Yeah. And so we would get on there and we would be talking to boys. That was like, I would never forget that as like my Christmas break. Is that what we would do? Or like my other cousins, hours. When I say hours, I just realized how many hours we wasted in our life on AIM. Okay. And so they would go out and we would be so excited. We'd be waving them by. We couldn't even wait until they get out the driveway. And then we'll give them a good 10 minutes.
Oh, in case
they forgot something. Because they'd be like, oh, what are you guys going to do? We're like, oh, we're going to watch a movie. We probably just, we might just go to sleep early. Lying. And so we would, if we weren't on AIM, then whoever wasn't on AIM would be on the telephone. So you have your boyfriend and you just like talking to him. Three-way call.
Yeah. Oh, I remember
That's what we were doing.
Yeah. Yep.
So we would have a boyfriends on there and we'd be talking to him. And I would never, ever forget that. And I think it was a very pivotal moment in my life in terms of seeing how other girls were dating.
Oh, interacting.
Kind of interacting with boys. Because for me, it was only what I knew from just me and my sisters. You know what I mean? So from looking at that, I was just like, well, we like faking it till we make it here. But they're like real hardcore, like talking, like I don't even know if it was probably some R-rated stuff probably got said too, but Christmas time. Merry Christmas. So I would never forget that in terms of them all. I mean, they did it every year. They would leave, they would go to this big party and they'd stay out to maybe like 1 a.m. And then when we could hear them, so they would always let the garage up. And we hear the garage. Yeah, we hear the garage shaking the whole house coming up. And that's how we knew that everybody was home.
Yeah.
And we would all fake like we were sleeping. We would all do it each and every time. And then if whoever didn't come for Christmas, either they would come for New Year's, and because my mom was part of this society or whatever, they would do it again for New Year's.
Oh.
So we do it for New Year's and Christmas.
Oh, double whammy.
Good time. Good time. But yeah, that's probably my like childhood. Yeah. And then when I got older, when I got in the military, then I started just taking advantage of different like Christmas times and what every other country did.
Oh yeah, depending on where you were and who you're with, like that's awesome.
Because Christmas in Thailand is way different than Christmas in America. Because it's cooler in America during Christmas time, and Thailand is hot.
Oh,
like in the hundreds, and the humidity is probably at 200.
Ugh.
So it was just, really like nasty and muggy. But at the same time, it was really nice kind of seeing how everyone did like their different Christmas. Because I remember once we went to Germany too as well.
Oh, cool.
And Germany Christmas is Christmas. When I think about Christmas and what it's supposed to look like, Germany nails it.
They put pickles in their Christmas trees.
Nails it. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Stinks like all hell. But at the same time, but they do that. And I mean, it's just so beautiful. The snow, it's just
the pines,
very winter wonderlandish.
See it. I imagine it because I've never been there, but like very magical.
Magical, because the architecture there is beautiful. So just having that and just having like the
enchanting.
Yeah, just having the lights and everything on there is amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much what we kind of do around there. And I wasn't doing much drinking during that. I mean, like I said, I ain't started drinking until like I was literally in my 20s. But I remember my uncle. So my uncle, he had this drink he had to have every single year. Shout out to you, Uncle Robert. It was called Wild Turkey.
Oh.
And that's the only drink, like spirit, is like etched in my mind because he had to have that every single holiday. He had that wild turkey, and my dad would have Crown Royal.
We just drink it like on the rock, like just.
No, he had to have it with Coke.
Oh,
because I remember when I started driving, I had to drive to the store to get his Cokes.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I remember him having that, and then my dad would have like Crown Royal. That was like his spirit of choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of a holiday drinking story.
Oh. Yeah.
Wild turkey.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just get right into it.
I'm gonna share that one, even though I had a different one.
Share both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our show. Who's on here? No
one.
I
don't know.
This is our show.
Elias, I got an idea. We're going to do a podcast. It's called Industry Insights.
That's what everybody's doing these days, like a podcast. But who are we going to target? What?
Well, this one is different because this one's going to target content creators.
Content creators? So that means film, television, animators, AI artists, everything, huh?
Yeah, all of them. We can inspire all of them. We'll bring some high caliber people in here. Not only will they learn how to get into the industry, but how to be successful.
But the thing is, sponsorship. We have to go after things, and how we're going to do that?
Yeah, the Film Hub. We're going to sponsor it. We'll do it right here at the Film Hub in downtown Vista. Yeah, we'll sponsor it too.
Great.
Yeah, we got the podcast studio right here. We got stages, whatever you want to use. We got it here. And right here in film-friendly Vista. Where else would you do it? And you know where they can listen to it?
Where? Tell me.
Go YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcast.
What about Metaverse?
Meta what?
What?
Hello, friends. This is Joe Samo from the Samo Law Group. I am the host of Run It By My Lawyer. Over the years, I've had so many people that have had legal issues and legal questions and legal concerns. And I always, over the more than 20 years, I've been telling people, before you sign anything, before you do anything, if you have a problem, just run it by my lawyer, right? Just run it by me. And now I have a podcast doing just that. You can call me, you can email me, any questions you have. I love hearing from people and answering legal questions. And on our podcast, we've talked about everything from free speech, gun rights, anything you want to discuss, employment rights, everything. So you have an issue, run it by my lawyer and watch this podcast. You'll be entertained and you'll learn the law. Love to see you. You can find me anywhere, okay? YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever you want. And if you can't find me on some platform, let me know and I'll come find you. All right, thank you.
So Wild Turkey is a short story because I was dating this guy, not my husband, different guy. And he, every Thanksgiving, he and his brother and like group of friends, they would play football on Thanksgiving morning. Yeah. And just as a tradition. And so we went down to OB's, like Big Rob Field, I think is what it's called. And we were playing football and they had 2 bottles of wild turkey, one on at each end zone. And so if the other team scored, then the team that got scored on, everybody had to take shots of wild turkey and like vice versa. Oh. So that was, yeah.
Wow.
It was a pretty intense game of wild turkey. I mean, pretty intense game of football.
You might as well call it a game of wild turkey. Because that's literally what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was an interesting holiday.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Traditional.
Yeah.
At the time. I wonder if they still do it.
I would think that they still do. Yeah. Knowing that family. Yeah.
What's your other one?
The other one was around New Year's Eve. So 2015, little did I know that I was going to have a child in 2016. And so it was kind of, it's like my last, I'm glad I went all out because everything changed the next year and I had no idea I was going to. Yeah. But we were at our friend's house in Sherman Heights, which is just right outside of downtown San Diego. And just a big, I think there is about 10 or 12 of us, different couples, and we were all together. And then we walked down to El Dorado, which is a bar in downtown. Yeah. And our friend Jesus had, I I guess he had a good connection there, and he got all of us in. We didn't have to pay cover or any of that because of it being New Year's Eve. Yeah. And it was just a great evening of being with friends. It ended with a giant platter of champagne right at, midnight.
Yeah.
And, like the most expensive bottle someone, I don't know, just like, okay, let's do this. Yeah. And then we ended up walking back to our friend's house. My husband was lost for several hours in the rain with a French man that was part of our group. And we were like, we couldn't drive. So we're just like, his phone was off. The French man was very mad at Jeff for not knowing how to get back to the apartment. And he's like, I don't know. Yeah. Like finally our friend had finally left like 3 a.m. or something. It was like, okay to drive, and found Jeff and Sebastian and brought them home. And
they was out just wondering.
And Sebastian was so upset.
Oh, I bet Sebastian was.
Yeah.
Poor Sebastian.
Yeah. I was trying to remember more of the details from the evening. I even called Jeff like right before we started recording, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have called you. You definitely don't remember anything. He's like, well, I remember the angry French man.
Right.
So he's like, why did you leave me? And I'm like, I didn't. You wandered off. I was like, it's literally like 5 blocks. How did you end up like hours away on foot? Yeah, it was.
Seriously?
Yeah, they just kept walking. And the guy was like, I just kept following Jeff because I don't know where I am.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, well, you put your trust in the wrong person tonight.
That was a hell of a story. So, well, at least I know who not to follow.
Yeah.
Put in my GPS. Don't follow Jeff. Yeah. Nowhere.
Not after a platter of champagne.
Don't follow him nowhere. Not even on foot. Good God.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So we always tease him now.
Yeah.
So it's fun. What's yours?
So my drinking story has to do in Japan, which most of my really fun ones always happen. So we would take the train to Tokyo for New Year's, because Tokyo, of course, is like, huge. And we would go there and like just go to like the clubs or whatever and just kind of have some fun. So this particular year, it was when one of my friends, he had just got this. He was the last one to join like our friend group. Mm-hmm. And we decided that we was just going to kind of just and at this time, I think I was with my ex-husband at this time too. And we was like, oh, we're going to all go. We're going to just ride out we'll take the train out to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Because we usually would drive, but we was like, nope, it's New Year's.
Yeah, no driving.
We're going to get plastered. That was our plan. Like, we planned this out.
The evening.
Yeah. Before we left the ship, we already knew. Plastered. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Plastered.
No other way.
What are you doing? Plastered. It was the only way to do it. And I remember we got there, and one of my other long-term friends, his name is Twan, if you're listening, I'm telling you a story. And so he's from South Carolina. And we went to this one club, because we would club hop. So we would go to different ones or whatever. And we went to this one, and they played Petey Pablo's North Carolina, I think it's like Stand Up or Raise Up or something like that. Mm-hmm. But part of it says, take your shirt off and spin it around your head like a helicopter.
Oh, no.
In Japan, during New Year's,
he did
it's
that?
freezing.
Oh, but he did do it.
He did it and lost his shirt.
He really let it go.
Literally let it fly around the club. And I would never forget, because at this point, I remember him being on the dance floor. Like, I remember him like swinging his shirt around. Uh-huh. And so we were like all just kind of just over to the side. So in Japan, the train stopped running at 12, and they don't start back running to 5 a.m. So if you out, you out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we knew that we weren't going to be able to get back until like 5 a.m. We'd get on a train until 5 a.m. Then it's another 2 hours.
To get back.
It's another 2 hours all the way back down to Yokosuka.
Yeah.
So he came out of the club and we're shirtless. I would never forget that. I said, because we call each other by our last name. I said, Jenkins, where is your shirt?
Yeah.
And he was like, Petey Pablo came on. It was over.
Yeah.
And the rest of us just went, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah,
That is a valid reason.
This makes a lot of sense to me, sir. This exactly. So we're trying to explain this when our group like comes back together. We're all trying to explain to each other what happened to his shirt. And I'll never forget that. And then to know that we had to travel another 5, we had to wait.
With no shirt.
Yeah, we had to travel another 2 hours.
You couldn't find him a shirt? He couldn't find it at all?
It's New Year's. Nothing's open.
Oh.
And we couldn't find his shirt. So we went back in the club.
Yeah.
And they turned the lights on.
And they couldn't find it?
Couldn't find his shirt.
Someone took it home as a souvenir,
Somebody took
a
sweaty white shirt.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, that American had that sweaty night white tee on. And yeah, took it. So we went in and we was like, where is this damn shirt at? And yeah, but I'd never forget it. He was having the time of his life. I remember him swinging that shirt over his head. And at some part of the song, maybe it said release. Maybe it said release.
Gone.
So yeah, so he had to end up getting on the train with his jacket on with no shirt under it.
Well, at least he had a jacket.
Yeah. I mean, because it was like cold. Yeah. But I never, ever forget that New Year's. That was
that's hilarious.
One of the
that's
best.
A good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the best
really
ones. I was like, what was we drinking for you to take your shirt off in this club and
He's like,
swinging around your head?
Said, I didn't even need a drink. It was Petey Pablo.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite like New Year's, like holiday kind of like drinking stories. But after that I calmed down and became, more of a calmer, advanced drinker.
Yeah.
So then drinking stories just turned into like, now it's like games.
I was going to say playing
falling.
games.
Yeah.
People
or somebody falling asleep over in the corner because now we're older. So somebody over in the corner like sleep and we're like drawing stuff on them.
And you're like, oh, they look so peaceful.
They look so peaceful.
They look
why
so
didn't
nice.
I think to get in that same corner?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually how the holidays was, and to know that you guys had those traditions, and please keep those traditions up with your kids.
Yeah.
I would love for you, both of them, just irritated, just can't believe.
Mom. Yeah.
Where are you? We're sitting at the church.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm coming.
Right. Mind your business.
Yeah. Everything's fine. Do you have my seat?
Right. Do you have my seat or what? And you better knock a person that's on the walker over so they won't get my seat.
Don't give my seat up to anyone.
Right.
I don't want to stand the whole time.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So let's go into what's next for us.
Wait, before we do that.
Okay.
Part of our holiday tradition too is gift giving. So I got you a little something.
What you did?
I did.
Should I open it on camera?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a mug.
I know that you recently lost your favorite mug or had to discard it after.
I had a funeral for my mug.
Oh, yeah. I
did.
Yeah, I saw that. And so I saw this mug, and what it says is,
please don't share your personal problems. Listen. How do I still have this at work as a therapist?
I know. That's why I was like, this is perfect for her. I don't know if she can bring it to work, but she should.
I will. I will have it on my desk, and it says, please don't share your personal problems with me. I could just see my clients and my patients now going,
oh, there's one more thing in there.
Oh. I could see them right now going, what you mean? Don't share my... I came here.
You should say, only on the clock.
Oh, this is tea.
So it's actually
alcohol infused.
Yes. So you put that in like a jar, and then it gives you recommendations as to what to mix it with, and then it'll infuse, and then you can make mixed drinks out of it. So,
well, guess what one of them is?
Gin. I know.
Laura, I'm coming for you.
This one is called Hello Sunshine, and so it would go well with
the Sunday
gin.
Paige,
and
it's
like has a little bit of tea. It has a chamomile in it, so I felt like we kind of went with the coffee cup / teacup.
Oh man! See, I can't drink that one at work, but
yeah, well,
yeah,
one at a time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So much.
Yeah.
I love that. I love mugs so much. I really do. So let's get into what's next for us. What is next for Odd Pairing? Should we reveal it? We could reveal a little bit. One thing that's going to be happening for us next season is our setup is going to change. We won't be at this glorious table anymore. We're going to be in a more relaxed
atmosphere
type
conducive
setting.
To
drinking.
Socializing and drinking.
Yeah. So we're going to change it up a little bit and and have some special.
Focus on like friends and family and like kind of bringing that community vibe and stories and how like alcohol and food bring people together and sharing those stories and, still bring on guests from, some of our favorite or local beverage companies and that sort of thing. But I think it would be really fun to like, just like have some of our friends or family come on and talk about.
And then hearing their side of some of our drinking stories.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have Jeff come on and he can tell that New Year's Eve story.
Of what he can remember.
Or one of the friends that was there that night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we'll have
fun stuff like that.
We have some of that going on. And while the season is ending, also look out for some of our content in between of us doing other drinking and adventures that will be going on to kind of
excursions.
Just kind of discovering new drinks. Because I love that you can't stop with different drinks. There's always going to be something new that's going to come out in some shape, form, or fashion. So we'll be able to kind of capitalize on that as well. Look out for that and be excited about this new season that's coming up. Even though this one is ending, I'm very excited. I'm like so excited for the next one.
Start working on it
because of that more relaxed kind of like vibe.
We're working on our vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. And so some of our drinks, of course, will return. You'll see some of these people drinks kind of come back and we'll be indulging in them for that time. So, what do you have? What are you excited about for the next season?
I think I'm excited about the friends and family part of like just getting just people together that we know or both know, both don't know. I don't know. Just I don't know, just kind of continuing that exploration of how drinking and eating brings people together and just talking about those culture and community and that's
and it expands our network.
Yeah.
So just I guess for the sake of this show, it expands our community because I'm going to be bringing on people and you're going to be bringing on people that we'll probably want to know outside of the show. You know what I mean? So it just kind of expand on that and knowing that we're bringing them together with drinks just the way we want to.
Yeah.
It's going to make it even more special to know that. And then they have their own drinking story. I remember it was my first time on the podcast, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So like all of those type of things will kind of just really hone in on our community aspect of this and, pairing it and kind of talk a little bit more too about food, but not too much because our producer, you guys, he really be on us about this food thing. He really be on us about this food thing. We be like, I guess we'll bring some food in. So we'll bring a little bit.
Well, we get hungry.
Of food in. Yeah. Yeah. So it's mostly because he want to eat. It's not us. We want to drink.
Well, we had his ribs on the very first episode.
Sure did.
And they were amazing. So
They were absolutely amazing. And then we had him again because he invited us to another get-together where he cooked them one more time. And I
also fantastic.
Stuck up on my word. Yeah. I wouldn't allow anyone to have any of the ribs because they were poisonous. Yep. And I don't want to share. I'm not a sharer. If you can see that when it comes to food, I do not like to share. So that portion of it, I think we're going to have like a little bit more of that pairing aspect and kind of just bringing our family and friends and letting them also talk about like their favorite food with drinks, just to kind of, because not everyone that comes on needs to be someone who is
from a company.
Yeah. Kind of giving us I want to hear what the everyday person is drinking and eating.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. And how does that, why is that your favorite?
Yep.
And why is it surrounded of like, what made you draw to that and go, this is my drink. Like if there's no other drink around, this is the one that I'm going to like cling to.
Yeah.
And why is that so important? So I'm very, very excited about that piece coming up. So yeah.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about, this is the part of the show. And then also to kind of like bring it towards the end. As you guys know, we didn't do a drinking word on this one. And that was because we just wanted you guys to just hear the flow and just hear us just kind of talk about like our experience with the whole thing and then kind of bringing in the holidays as well. So let's talk a little bit about safety. We did that in the July 4th episode in terms of like talking about like safety around the holidays. And now with Christmas and New Year's coming up, we want you again to practice that same safety. This is a great time for you to reel in those 16, 17-year-olds who have nothing to do that night and drive you around town.
Yeah.
And drive you around town, okay? Get those DDs and let them drive you around town. Because we want you guys to be able to see the next season, okay? So having that safety and being responsible with your drinking. And if you do know like your limits, great. If you don't, please be somewhere where you trust people and where you can also like get a ride to somewhere, because we really harp on that part of it. As much as we love and have fun with drinking, we also want you guys to be safe. Absolutely. And to know that this is the holidays is you literally 6 weeks of drinking from Thanksgiving all the way till New Year's. So it's heavy. a lot of drinking that's going on.
There's ride share, Lyft or Uber, or, all sorts of
any of those,
or have a slumber party,
right?
Stay the night,
right? And if you find yourself in a pinch or anything, wake your grandma up. You'd rather her fuss at you alive than for you not to make it because you're trying to drive somewhere on like your own. So just remember, you won't be bothering anyone. You probably bother them in that moment, but not for a lifetime, because you'll still be here and taking that time. And we would also like to hear, what is your favorite like holiday drink from Thanksgiving to New Year's?
Yeah,
what
is some recipes?
Yeah, for those
Send
particular
us recipes
ones.
And
and then what foods that you also have, like your favorites during the holidays. We would love that. And if you feeling, froggy and you feel like your fingers can type a long time, also let's hear some of your drinking stories. We want to hear like what's your holiday drinking stories during that time. I love to read that kind of stuff. So just putting that out there as well and being safe. Yeah. Anything you have, Paige?
No.
Nothing? Just let everybody down. Okay.
I'm kidding. Oh, come on.
I'm kidding. All right. Well,
do we do one last cheers?
One last cheers
to
a great season.
To a great season.
Yeah. And to the closeout of 2022.
Oh, yes.
Let 2023 be better.
Holy moly.
Be better.
Be better 2023.
Okay? Be better. Hopefully Kanye can get his stuff together too as well.
We'll see.
In 2023. And to all our advanced drinkers out there, thank you so much for rocking with us this first season. I hope to see you guys for the second season. Okay. Come with some ideas. If you guys want to see something on the show, also bring those ideas. We're definitely open to it, and we will make it happen the best way we can. And I say that in terms of the best way we can. So just in case you don't see your idea, we tried,
It's considered.
Right. It was deeply considered. But yeah, so do all the stuff, the call to action. Please share, guys. Please share all of our content with your other friends and everything, and get them also involved. And also, we're looking for a new game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, next season. So we did Word Game was the theme for this season. So if you guys know another game that we can do
that you
want us to play, just let us know.
Give us some ideas.
Yeah.
Brainstorm time.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So while we're brainstorming too, we
be a part of our creative process.
Be a part of it. Please. Please, we
you
love
are all invited.
Yeah. We love it. And with that,
we are signing off.
We're signing off. This is Odd Pairing. Thanks for listening and watching Odd Pairing. So please subscribe, like, rate,
and comment with your favorite drinking stories and curiosities about adult beverages.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'm going to happy hour. Who's driving?
I'm going to walk.